And I want to start off by saying welcome to our 10K coaching. And here's what I really like about the 10K coaching. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people said I'll be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3, not so much. So what I like about this is not, remember, this is invitation, not obligation. So this is not a knock on the 3. This is more so a really big appreciation and positive thing for the 7. What does it mean? Well, there's a difference between, Jess, I want to coach Jeff and actually showing up. You guys know actions speak louder words. So it's really cool that your actions are speaking that, hey, I'm willing to work hard, and I'm also willing to get extra coaching, and that's why you're here. And I find if someone can get up even on your birthday night, thank you, this is great. If you can't get up an extra hour earlier for coaching, then you're not going to go for 10K faster. I mean, that's really, if it's that hard to go 1 more hour earlier, then I doubt they're going to be able to adhere to the coaching. So I love who shows up. In fact, when I was in college, I had a physics professor who would run these Friday night sessions for review, and no one wanted to go because it was Friday night. And it was like a lecture of 250 people. And he would go, and only, let's say, 20, 30 of us would show up to the Friday night session. We were dressed up to go out still. And then we would go through the problems, 3 really hard problems, but he would go in depth and give us extra coaching. And we were willing to work hard. Well, on Monday, the exam were the same 3 questions.
Wow.
And we crushed it. And then this is great. So we kept going to the review. And he kept saying every time we came to the review, when you come for extra help, I'll give you extra coaching. And so this is the same thing. And this is me giving, essentially pulling the board and giving you the 3 questions that are going to be on the exam. And the exam for you is how to have a 10K fast start. So props to you guys. Notebook and pen, you can write down. We're just going to practice, essentially rewrite the notes, but I want you to process as we write down. Okay, so at the top, I want you to write down fast start equals first 10 days. Fast start equals first 10 days. Remember, what is also 10 days long?
Training.
Yeah, your training. So ironically enough, what we're saying is, how can you go all out for your first 10 days so that the rest is easier? Okay. So first thing, 10K fast start. We're going to have a coaching session right now, the first of 6, that are going to show you how to sell between 10 and 20 plus. That's the first thing I want you to write down. The objective of this workshop is selling 10 up to 20 plus thousand. And if you notice, I put a plus, which means what? It could also go
Higher.
Yeah, higher. And the reason I stopped it at 20 is because this program's going to get you to 10 to 20. But if you are performing at a higher level, if you exceed the coaching and get to the top 10%, or you start to get on a roll, then we can also talk about going for, well, let's say the Eastern record, their Eastern region record, or the national record, which will exceed anywhere between 40 to 60,000 plus for first 10 days. Okay, that's a person who has worked super hard on their names list. They're really qualifying the best customers. They're not just Mac, but probably Mac pluses and so forth and so forth. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. So let's talk about the benefits. My next 5 minutes, I want to get down and really specific as to what is exciting you to get extra coaching and work hard. It's different. Some of you want money long term. Some of you want money right now. You got something motivating you. Some of you, your resume is 0 and empty, and you want to build it. Some of you know exactly what you want, but let me help you figure out the top 3. So first of all, I want you to write down 2,000 to 5,000 plus. If you have a 10K fast start, you will earn $2,000 to $5,000 plus within a 10-day period. And I know for some of you, that can be really, really motivating. Think about that. Raise your hand if for you, getting a big amount of money like that in a short period of time is motivating for you to do more than normal. Okay, so let's say, Mihaela, it's not 10 days, so 14 days from now. So you finish your fast start. If you have a 10K, 20K fast start, what we do is we make you take the 11th day off to recharge, get reorganized. We have you come in, and then we map out the rest of your summer. We want to say, okay, well, you're on pace to having a 5-figure club earning this summer. Let's map out what weeks do you want to be part-time, what weeks do you want to go full-time, do you want to go full-time the whole time? We customize your summer. But you give really a lot of work for your first 10 days, it's going to really be worth it. Let's say, Mihaela, after 14 days where we sit down with you one-on-one on your day off, and we go to the beach, come here, meet with Luke and Kirsten, and we talk about your schedule. And then you say, hey, did you check your bank account? And there's a 2 or 3 or 4 or a 5 with a comma after it in your bank account. How are you going to feel?
Excited.
Yeah. I'm 40, and I know when I was 19, what 2000 meant to me. 2000 now is different at 40. But when I was 19 years old, if I had a 1 and a comma, I was a wealthy man. You guys understand? And for you, for the ladies, would you guys agree with that? If I put a 2 and a comma, I mean, you feel like you could run the school. Does that make sense? So if that's motivating you, maybe that's what's going to push you to do a little bit more, a lot more than you're planning on. Okay. Number 2, free Cutco. And free Cutco is all about long-term business and the love of the product. I'll say it again. Free Cutco up to $1,800 is about long-term business and really the love of the product. Because long-term business, why? What happens? Like what happens when you have more than the kit we give you?
I'm sorry.
What happens when you have more knives than the kit we give you later on?
You know more about the
You
product.
okay? Ready?
It's easier
You
to sell
know and are able to explain the products. Why? Because you've used it at home, and then you were gonna say,
to people.
You can just advertise it better. When
yeah,
you're
it's
cooking.
easier to sell, right? Some of you, 2-3 weeks from now, when you have $1,800 worth of Cutco, your average order will go close to 1,000, and it's not because you're that much better. It's because you just have that much more to show and sell. Yeah, that's it. Okay, nice work. So maybe that's it. That's motivating you. Number 3, 10K VIP night. I don't throw a bad party. That's the thing I always want to say. Jeff Gamboa does not throw a bad party. And whenever I can treat and allow people to experience epic, I call those epic experiences, signature experiences, where maybe you do have a family where you go out and you would go to Brickell and you would do a dinner like that. But odds are maybe not. But even if you are, I want you to do it on your terms. I want you to be able to say, no, Mom, I'm going. Where are you going? I'm going to Brickell. For what? VIP night. Right? And I want it to be a big deal. And of course, what I do is I actually invite your parents to come for the first hour and have a cocktail hour with your parents. So they can meet me, we chit chat, they meet Luke, they meet Luke's dad, they meet my fiance. And that way we kind of become connected. So that's the networking to know your parents. But then after, we get the parents out. We let them go, they go to dinner and have fun. And we just take you out. We have a really, really fun. Luke's been to I don't know how many VIPs so far, but it's a signature experience. It's a ton. If you're a foodie, it'll pull at your foodie heart. Number 3, it's networking. And that's the most important part. I'm going to introduce you to the career sellers, the people who are at a level that I am, but for selling, not management. And they'll be able to give you tips, they exchange phone numbers. And what's really cool about our team is we're all super helpful. Like Andy Janti is close to my age, but he gets all your phone numbers. And when you reach out, he answers all your questions. But you only get connected if you make a VIP night. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's something that's really exciting, motivating you. Epic signature experience and networking. Number 4, the tropical trip, $15,000, 3 days, 2 nights, all inclusive, all the milk and cookies you want. Tropical destination. I can't tell you where. Luke will do that today, but I can tell you one of 2 options. Remember, I told you always give 2 options. It's always Caribbean or Mexico. Anyone travel to Caribbean? Ooh, not enough. Not enough. Anyone travel to Mexico? Definitely not. Are you Mexican?
Yes.
Of course. What part? What part?
So it's like an hour away from the city.
Okay, north, south, east. South. Okay. Right. So Mexico, Caribbean, 3 days, 2 nights. One of my favorite hotels in the world, all inclusive, all winners, all performers, all the managers that perform as well. That's a signature experience. That's like a VIP night on steroids. So maybe you have the travel bug and that's motivating you. And then last 2, most important, Leadership Academy or TLA, the Leadership Academy. And remember, this is Cutco's version of corporate and leadership training. So if you have a resume where you say, I'm doing Cutco and I don't know if I'll do this forever, but man, I want to be a better doctor, lawyer, FBI agent, engineer, physician, financial advisor. If you want business skills, people skills, money skills, energy skills, management skills, leadership, this is our version of how we make someone a student and turn them into a 5-star student when they graduate. Leadership Academy is not an academy. It's not a school. It's a program where if they're away from school, we have virtual portions. And then when they're home for breaks, we have live portions. And we teach 3 things. And I want you to write these down again because I think this is really exciting. Number 1, you learn how to manage 3 things. Learn how to manage money. Number 2, you learn how to manage people. And the most important thing you have to learn to manage is who? Yeah, you learn to manage. So we teach you how to learn to manage yourself. Things like energy management, fitness and diet, time management, things of that nature. And what I love about Leadership Academy is that you guys go in one way at 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. And when you're done college, you come out a completely different person. Like I think about Kirsten Casey, where she joined us. Speaking of the devil, there you go. She joined us in TLA, and think of where she is now, 2-3 years later. It's a different Kirsten. Think of Luke. I mean, if you knew Luke,
You know.
if you knew Luke when I first met Luke, Rising Junior, right, playing football, long shaggy hair, shot put, great. I would say great young man at the time, and now where he is now. I mean, I would put his resume. I would put a lot of my money if I don't bet like that, but if I were to bet a lot of money on his resume versus others, I would take Luke's any day of the week. And if they said, okay, pick a student who's going to get the most job offers in their major if they apply everywhere, I'll put Luke. And it's all TLA training. It's all TLA training. Okay. So if you're excited about that for your experience or for your resume or for possibly even open up internship opportunities to run an office like Kirsten, Kirsten and Grant, but also Luke 2 years ago, put TLA. And then last one's dirty 30. We talked about the thought that if you are able to get to 30%, here's what I want to say. If you mess up and you're a rep that's just super laid back and you don't put your best into it, you should hit dirty 30 at least by the end of the summer. Like if you're just super slow, just, like that slow, you'll hit dirty 30 by July or August. Then you can go into the school year and do the whole part-time work and then what? Full-time pay. And that's cool. And I think it's a really cool experience and it's going to be good for your money in the fall. But if you really want to make the most financial opportunity at a Cutco, you work part-time but make full-time, or you, like they did, like Josie, like Mila, you work full-time and you make big time. There's nothing like a Cutco summer for someone like a Grant Stray. Grant's from Boca Raton. He went to Boca High. Every summer he goes full-time and he makes big time. And every summer he writes one check to his dad in full to pay his tuition out of state to University of Indiana with one summer every summer. He's done it for 2 summers now. He'll do it for a 3rd summer in a row. First time as a rep, second time as an assistant. This year he'll do it as a branch manager. I mean, there's nothing like it. And I think Dirty 30 is great because it allows you to do things that you want to do, but also make the income you want at that level. And it's really cool. Okay. Pretty exciting, right? So think about, I want you to process right now what's exciting you most. And I'm going to give you the sheet. First thing you do is you put your name at the top. And then I want you to circle the top 3 things and everything I covered here. And I'll read it. Maybe it's the income in a short period of time. Maybe it's the signature experience, VIP night, because Jeff Gamboa does not what? Throw a bad party. The tropical trip. Maybe it's you want to get on my radar for the TLA and get an interview by August. Maybe you want to just create some real momentum. Maybe you love the Cutco products and want to get $1,800 worth. Or maybe you're excited about Dirty 30. Did you at least bring me some Dunkin' Donuts?
I would have.
Oh my gosh.
What coffee do you drink?
No, I'm good. Thank you. Flattery and food will get you everywhere. Everywhere. Okay. So name at the top and whatever's exciting you, top 2 or 3. Let's see. Olivier. Just balance it. Learning. Kind of. Enough to order a drink and find a bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Southern Bank. That's it. And French fries. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Then, I'm curious. I want to go around, and I'd like to hear what are your top 3 most motivating factors. Okay. And I have these, Luke. With these, so at some point we'll keep. I want to talk about how we use these. So I want you to first of all share with me what are your top 3. It doesn't have to be in order because I can, top 3 most motivating reasons to work hard and get coaching. Okay, we'll go Issa first.
I have income in a short period of time.
Of course.
Getting on just radar for TLA advancement and the Dirty 30.
Exactly what hers were.
That's the popular 3. Big 3. Sam, how about you, sir? Mr. Birthday Boy, +1.
I only have 2.
Okay, pick the 2 quickly.
So creating some momentum.
Good.
30.
Awesome. Financial, that's going to be good for you. Go ahead, Olivier. Or Oliver.
The VIP night
Uh-huh.
and the TLA.
Okay, good. All right. Marty.
Get on your radar for TLA advancement, creating summer momentum and experience, and the 33.
You guys taking note? Or you got TLA buzz, right?
Income, creating summer momentum, and 30-30.
Nice.
Income, all-inclusive trip, and Cutco products.
There you go.
Income, get on your radar for TLA advancement and creating summer.
Outstanding. Now, in a few bullets or sentence, doesn't have to be long, I just want you to write down what does this fast start mean to you and what can it do for you? So you can put into your own words. I'll read these before we start coaching you. What does the fast start mean for you? Give me another 30 seconds. Okay. Now, if I could bring your attention, well, last few points you're going to jot down, and then bring your attention to the bottom. Okay, eyes up. Thank you. You can finish that. I'll read those in a second. So coaching is really simple. And what's really funny about 10K coaching, it's not hard to have a 10K fast start if you just get the coaching and follow through with it, okay? This is the first session. There's only 5 more. In your 10 days, there's only 5 more coaching sessions. And if you adhere to the more you adhere to, the bigger your fast start, okay? And so if you take a look, here are the 5 sessions, Monday through Friday next week from 8 to 9:30. And I'm going to talk about if you have conflicts. Monday through Friday, 8 to 9:30. And if you remember, one of the best times to get a hold of people is in the morning, right? Because at 8 o'clock, what have the Mac moms just done for the day already? Sent the kids to school, and they're free of whatever chaos that is, okay? Actually in a better mood than sometimes at night, by the way, just so you know. So from 8 to 9, we give you a focused mini phone jam, and we don't have the golf putter and all the prizes for that one. But we do create the atmosphere, the tempo, ready, and the coaching. Notice how yesterday Luke and I and Kirsten were walking around so that if someone was having a hard time, we could sit down and help you. And that's the point of having the coaching sessions. You're actually 20% more likely to work out if you go to a gym facility. Statistics show. Why?
Because it's the atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere, coaching, equipment, and tempo. Well, atmosphere, same thing, okay? So keep that in mind. That's from 8 to 9:30, and then from 9 to 9:30, we'll do the instructional. So Monday, we'll teach you how to get customers tied in so that they buy more than they normally would because they want to help you. Tuesday, we'll teach you how to get more recommendations. Instead of 5 to 10, it's 15 to 20. Okay. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we have customized instruction to help increase your sales and all the things that we would give you during that individual coaching time. Okay. And then Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, those are just the big phone jams with the golf club, the music, the prizes. And that's where you would set up not just 1 or 2 days, you'd set up your whole 3-day window plus at one time and just be done with it. Okay? And then communication, circle during/after every appointment. This is actually part of how you get paid, but I just want to make it very clear. Just because this is what you have to do to get paid, do you guys know people who work at a job and still don't do what they're supposed to do and not get paid? Raise your hand if you know someone who, well, they did the job, but they didn't work there that long. And no names. What do they work and what did they not do?
It was in a coffee shop,
Okay,
And-
great example. Keep going.
and so they didn't give the customer like the best
Like service.
experience and the best drink that they could. It
Okay,
was just kinda
So in that case,
Half effort.
it just seems like no effort,
Yeah.
with lack of effort, okay? In some cases, not showing up. In some cases, not checking it, all those things. Ready? Believe it or not, there are people who don't follow this. A, they don't get paid properly, which is weird because all they have to do is do this to get paid properly. And B, they're missing out on a ton of sales because when you call us, what do we help you do? Remember, negotiate or a discount until you get really good at it for yourself. So that's a big part of it. And then during your first 10 days, for the days you're committed to going for the big days of selling, you're either on an appointment, you're on the phone to set up appointments, or you're coming into the office to get extra help. Now remember, this is just for 10 days. After 10 days, you can switch to whatever schedule you want, but for the system that we can support you with, this is what it entails, okay? So if we turn it over, and you guys did this a little bit yesterday. Let me explain what this means. All in means I have nothing going on. You have me for 10 days. I want to go for not just 10K, but 15, 20K for sure. I want to go for the trip or higher. Okay. In between means I want to do that, but I have some things, either a full day or 2 or 3 that I'm committed to doing something. But if you take out those 2 days, you've got me for 7. Or if I got a trip for 5, you got me for 5, right? Yes, ma'am.
I have school every day until like I get home at like
That's in
3:45.
between.
Okay.
Okay. Are you willing to work outside of school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got in between. Good. Okay, and then part-time is what it is, part-time. Okay, meaning, hey, Jeff, I have openings to do more, but I really just want to stick to part-time, which would be 10 to 15 appointments the whole week, which is really small. But if you wanted to stick to that, then you let us know ahead of time so we don't over-push you. Cool? So circle the one which you are, and if it's different from this one, right? Think about it. I just wanted to clarify. It doesn't have to be the same thing you wrote here, but I want to get an idea. Circle which one. Okay. And then when you're done, sign it, and then pass it in, and then Luke will collect it. Okay. And for those of you that came in a little bit later, I'm asking for 2 numbers. How many phone numbers do you have with you today? And how many, if any, extra appointments did you get last night or this morning? Okay, so we'll go, Blake, number, roughly, how many phone numbers? Be a range.
I'd say 50.
Doesn't have to be exact. And any extra appointments? Yeah. Good, okay. And we're gonna give you more time in a second. Ryan?
I'd say about
Thank you.
Did you talk to Luke before you left?
Just right now.
Did you talk to Luke last night?
I was here later, a little late.
Right. I'm saying, did you talk about not hitting the 20 to 30 with anyone?
No.
Okay, we'll talk to you in a while, okay? Okay, and then how many appointments did you set up last night? Yeah, we definitely talked to, okay? Anyone else? Who are we missing? Did I miss any? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Who are we missing? Oliver? How many appointment numbers do you have?
Probably 15.
15, okay, did you talk to Luke before you left?
I talked to you, but I didn't talk to you.
About not hitting the assignment, did he talk? Well, we'll talk one-on-one. If you guys aren't gonna hit assignments, you gotta talk to us before you leave or
Oh,
talk to
that's
us
for
before
the
you come in.
numbers?
Well,
It's not.
Give
for
me
you.
1 second, I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
1 second, okay. So when you don't hit assignments, it's okay, but it's not okay if you don't let us know beforehand. So if you show up, and it's not because I'm mad, it's just that I can't coach you and you guys won't make money if you do it like that. So cool, agreed?
Gotcha.
Cool, all right, cool. And then, so just talk to us one-on-one, we'll fix it, all right? You're new, so I know you guys are new, but we're gonna coach you. You just can't miss assignments, that's it, okay? So far, so good? So we're gonna give you some time after I finish this coaching workshop, but I wanna dive now into the actual tips of how to have a 10K fast start. So on the new sheet of paper or in your notes, here's what I wanna cover. First of all, I wanna cover getting lots of customers. So at the top, 40 appointments is what I want you to write down. 40 appointments. By math, if you're completely average, you're not good, you don't sell any of the big sets, you don't have a big sale like the kitchen, you don't sell any of the laptop sets, you're really just all the way down to 300 every time, you only get 60%. If you're just to these averages, it'll take you 40 appointments to get the 10K, okay? But if you want to get really good at selling at least these 3 and you're doing the job, then it's easier. You could just sell 1 of these a day and you're going to sell 10K, right? You could do 6 of those and 4 or 5 of those and you already hit it. So it's, like I said, it's not that hard, but you have to be willing to put the effort in. You have to get the extra coaching. But 40 appointments doesn't, right? So what does that mean? If you want to have 40 appointments, what do you have to have at least? 40 contacts. So line yours up and see where you're at, right? So are you like right there? Are you behind? Do you have a lot to catch up? Now keep in mind, to be fair, what's the minimum assignment that I said?
20.
20 to 30, and I'm okay with that. So we'll talk to the 2 of you, but 20 to 30 gets you started, and we'll work on more phone numbers tonight through the weekend. In fact, by Monday, the goal is for you to be at 50 plus for sure. If you're already at 50, right? I would put money right now that Mahela and Mari are gonna have an easier time getting started at least. So for the rest of you, where should we put our efforts into? Taking your numbers. That's really the most important thing. So I'm gonna talk about this for a second. For those of you that got over 50, right? I'll say that I would call that the high flyer, like the overachiever part. So Mari, what resources did you use to find most of the phone numbers? So it'll help the group.
I called on my friends and asked for the parents' numbers.
Okay, so in some cases, friends. Okay, we even, and later on, Luke will show you, we have a text message you can send your friends to get mom's phone number. Okay, it's in the book, okay? Who else?
I talked to my mom. I spoke to my dad. I went to my little brother's phone.
That's a good one, sibling cell phone. Okay,
And I kind of looked through my school directory, like you guys said yesterday.
beautiful. That directory is gonna make you a lot of money, I'm telling you. Okay, good. Hell, you had 162.
My phone, my mom's phone, and then I listed a bunch of friends, because I know you told us that you were gonna give us like a thing to say to your friends to get their numbers. So I also made a list of my friends.
So that's on top of it. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
good. Okay. So ready? Get as close to 40 numbers or more as soon as possible, and that will help you get off to a fast start. But number 2, let me review the types of people we can call. Remember the gears from yesterday? So let's put this down. Number 1, I'll put FNF, that's friends and family. Okay. One more time, why do we start with friends and family?
Because it's comfortable.
Comfortable, easier, okay, more likely to buy. And I'm gonna put down because they know you, put a check. And because they're affiliated with you. They know you and they're affiliated with you. That's why it's such an easy appointment. That's why we don't have you start with strangers. The next one is really important. Acquaintances. Okay. Who remembers how we defined acquaintances yesterday?
Somebody that knows of you.
Knows of you or you know of
Of
them. Remember that? Okay, so no, but we don't have an affiliation. But that's the directory. So Heritage, right? You went to American Heritage?
Yeah.
So if I were to go to American Heritage, I would get that directory, and Mari now can call every mom in that directory because she's a kid from the school, because I'm a student that just graduated, okay? So I'm just telling you right now, if you can get a directory, synagogue, church, temple, neighborhood, golf association, mom's coworkers, dad coworkers, and there's an approach that we have, which I'll teach you on Monday. I mean, every person there is fair game if you have an affiliation to that directory, every person. So if you have Taylor's in a dance studio, I think there's 500 moms, she's got 500 customers, and so do you, okay?
Could we ask?
What's that? Let me finish this first, okay? So we don't know everyone, but you are affiliated with that directory, okay? But remember, these 2 are going to be the first recommendations you get. So for example, the 5, 10, 15, 20 moms and dads that you know this weekend, they're going to recommend you to A, people that you know, you just didn't have their number. And B, they're going to recommend you to a lot of acquaintances, people you sort of know, they sort of know you. This is your gold mine. This is how you have a big fast start. And again, I'll teach you on Monday how to call these people. But I'm going to put a little thing here called chicken list, right? Because sometimes we're what? Chicken to call them, yeah. And what? Think about this. Think about the people that you went, last night. I know you did. I did too when I was new. What gives you the chicken feeling?
What they're gonna think?
Oh yeah, what are they gonna think? Or what's the worst case scenario?
They say no.
We're
They-
hassling them?
They say no, right? Are you hassling them?
No. They
No, I'm
just-
asking you. It's rhetorical. I'm not mad at you. Man.
Oh,
It's just,
I
you're all
just
good.
don't want them to feel like I'm too
Yeah,
forward.
good. Are you forward?
Mhm.
Are you aggressive on this phone approach?
No.
Are you rude? Are you pushy? Right? What's the worst case scenario if you call a chicken list?
They tell you no.
They tell you no. What's worse than that? They tell you no and they're nasty. Mari, I can't believe how are you raised? Right? And it's really, you know what? You don't have to see that person. And now you know. Now you know what? How they are. Okay? And here's the cool thing. I wouldn't want you to see that person. But see, part of calling someone like that, that's the worst case scenario. If that happens, what's the worst that happens to you?
Nothing.
Nothing. Ready? And you grow what's called, ready? Thick skin. Right? And guess what your generation is known for not having?
Thick skin.
Thick. I'm serious. I'm Generation X, Y, all the later ones, thick skin, black up. So this is the type of skill that separates you and why we have 5-star students. Because, ready? I got a student where if a lady were to be mean, because maybe they're having a bad day, maybe they just always like that. You know someone like that? Ready? And they take the whole day to think about it and they post about it. And, you know, this lady on the phone, and they call all the friends and they snapshot about it and they tell the story about it. Oh my gosh, just call the next person. Right? Okay. Don't be chickenless. But what's the best case scenario? You call it chickenless and what happens?
People say yes.
Yeah, you get Sue Rambaran's my first one, right, Luke? Sue Rambaran was my first chickenless call. And this is how about this for chicken and funky. She was my middle school church choir director. And I was already a sophomore, 19 in college. So we're talking 6 years removed. I only see her sometimes at church if we went to the same mass. right? And she would wave. That's for 6 years. That was my affiliation with Miss Sue. I mean, she knew me, I knew her, but we don't talk. So I picked up the phone. My manager said, "Who's the first person that you're most nervous to call, but you know will be the best customer?" I said, "Miss Sue." Just call her. I'm like, use the approach. And I said, "Miss Sue, hi, this is Jeff Gamboa. I'm not sure if you remember me." And she goes, "Jeff Gamboa? What are you talking about? How's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, hey." It was one of the best calls ever. She said, "How's your sister? I heard she's still killing it with soccer." Yeah. "Yeah, how are you?" And she's, "Wait a minute. Is this Cutco?" "Yes, have you heard it? I love Cutco. You better come on over." Right? I was like, and she already had like almost everything. Galley +6, so $900 order, 22 recommendations, and 21 of the 22 were sales. And it almost didn't call her. So what's the lesson in my story? Don't be chicken. I'm telling you. We have reps all the time. If you're chicken, you don't make money. If you're not chicken, you get better skills and you make money. And then the last one here, what we call recommendations. I call them recs. These are the people that you got recommended to after a couple of weeks that you don't know them at all. So no little X here, and you're not affiliated with them. So we're not even going to call those people this summer because you'll have so many here. You will have hundreds and hundreds of customers. Your directory alone could fuel your summer. The church alone could fuel your summer. Okay, but maybe you don't have a big directory like that. All your acquaintances from your friends and family, even if you only have 10 friends and family members, watch this. I'll take someone with a really, really big, this is that we don't ever go out. We don't know anyone. We're antisocial. And I don't even think it's 5 that low. But let's just say you only know 5 people. How many recommendations should you get? 5 to 10. So how many more customers is that just from one day? 25 to 50. And then how many do they give you on average? 5 to 10. And then what's that? 125 to 500. So you give me one weekend, you already have a couple hundred recommendations if you follow the script. Okay? So I'm going to stop there for a second. What stands out? What are some light bulbs? What are you taking just from that? What about it?
I'm like, sorry.
Continue. What about chicken list?
That like you shouldn't be afraid to call someone even though you're not like best friends with them or anything.
Right? Okay, good.
I'm already thinking about everybody I'm scared of calling.
Good. And ready? Those are the first 5 you call on Monday. Not now, not today, not Saturday. Ready? Friends and family. But Monday we're going to call them? Oh my gosh. They're the best customers. Good. What are you taking from this so far?
Just that it's not as hard as it really seems. Like $10,000 seems like a lot, but
Right,
just have to
exactly.
call
You know the
people.
prices, right? We'll do this later. You know the prices. Ready? Here, here, and here. I mean, 5 of those, you're done. 4 of those, sorry, 4. What are you taking from this, Blake? What biggest thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, they hit on pretty much everything.
Okay, cool. Ryan?
The directory, it's a great idea.
Yeah, directors are easy. Ready? Jazz band in high school, mom's nursing unit, dad's coworkers at the hospital. Every one of Cynthia, my sister's super soccer star in Maryland. Like everyone knows her. She coaches Olympic development soccer from Maryland up through New York. And every team she played for, every mom of hers has seen Cutco that she played with. Okay, so think about that. Okay, so next section. Or before we go, I want you to figure out. I want your new top 5, but your new top 5 chicken. I want you to write down who your top 5 chicken list people are. Yes, Monty.
I have one of my fears is not the person, is the kid of the person. Does that make sense? Like I know the kid, and like
And you don't know the mom.
I know the parents, and I love the parents, but like I'm scared of the kid.
You're not showing the kid Cutco.
I know, but still.
All right, ready? You gotta get over. Ready?
I'm scared of the kids.
Ready? How about if I said I'll give that customer to someone else? Would you want that?
No.
Call them.
Buddy,
Ready?
I sold the homemade for my ex-girlfriend farm.
That's yeah, my
I
ex-boyfriend.
know that's what it is.
Oh
I
no,
know that's what it's about.
ex-boyfriend.
Ready? $2,000, $2,000, $1,000. Ex-girlfriends. I'm serious. And guess what? They love me.
Oh, the parents love
Yeah, oh yeah, they love me.
They still love
Yeah,
you,
ready?
right?
Ready? How about this?
Yep.
Ready? The more you get, when you cross that barrier, I'm just telling you, that's where you grow. So go for that. We're not going to force you. I'm just telling you.
Oh, no, I'll
the
do it.
I know you will.
I
know you
will.
Okay, write down your top 5. Go ahead. And you don't have to call them today, but ready? If you find that you have some openings this weekend, you say, Jeff, I'll do it. I don't care. Then let Kirsten, let Luke, let me know. I'll show you the approach today. I don't have to wait till Monday. But if you have plenty of people to book your schedule from now till Monday, then we'll wait till Monday. Yes, sir.
How would I go about getting a directory?
I can either go to the school. I'll talk to you on. Usually, I would just go to the school. Where did you go?
So,
Yeah, I'll talk to you about that. I have an idea. Top 5. And I want to hear some of these people, who they are to you. Nahela, who'd you write down number 1? Chicken list.
Ex-boyfriend's mom.
Yeah!
Having kids.
Perfect. Perfect. She's probably a perfect customer, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not the perfect boyfriend, but the perfect customer. Okay.
Just a high school teacher.
Yeah,
They're
teach
like
old
3 years.
teachers. Awesome.
Yeah, I have an old teacher and a girlfriend or ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, perfect.
I have someone I know.
You guys have broken a lot of hearts, huh?
And my ex-girlfriend's grandparents.
Perfect. Perfect.
I had my little sister's mom, the
Friend's mom. Yeah. Okay. You guys get the point, right? Get to at least 5. Get to at least 5. Okay, another 10 seconds. Okay, ready? Let me give you the best phone times to make phone calls. Last night, just so you know, is one of the best times to make phone calls because it's before the weekend hits. That's why we wanted you to get at least a couple of appointments in. So first of all, we have what's called phone jams. Ready? This is with the golf putter, music, the contest, the fun, and it's an extended 3 or 4 hour session, so you can just book everything all at once and get it out of the way. Okay? You should get 60 to 80% of your appointments from this. You should get 60 to 80% of your appointments from this. And it's every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. Okay. So why p.m.? Why 6 to 9 p.m.? Obviously for Mac moms.
I don't have anything going on.
Well, yeah, it's after dinner and they're home, okay? Why Sunday? Because what's the rule? How many days is the rule? 3 days. So what's Sunday good for booking? Yeah, the beginning of the week, okay? And then what's Thursday good for booking? The weekend. But Wednesday we have the team meetings. We just do it all together on Wednesday for the weekend. Thursday, just in case you're not fully booked, you also do Thursday. Now, little tip here. Your last appointment on these days are at 4:30 and no later. Your last appointment on Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday should never be past 4:30, because if it is, you'll end up being late for the phone jam. If you're late for the phone jam, that's like not getting the full workout in. And if you don't get the full workout in, you don't get the full caloric burn and the fitness aspect of it, and you don't lose the same amount of weight. Same thing here. If you do an appointment at 7 o'clock, you're also missing out on the 2 hours of phone time, 2.5 hours. You're missing on probably 10 appointments you could have booked. So in the long run, you're losing money. But see, let me show you the math so you trust me on this one. Every week I have someone that says, "Oh, Jeff, please let me show this customer. They're going to buy at least a signature, probably a complete." Okay, so that sounds like a good customer to me. When? Well, I can only see them Wednesday at 7. I never approve it. And sometimes they get disappointed or they get mad at Luke. Luke, they don't do that. They don't think, and probably didn't come to this coaching either. Watch. Let's say there's a $2,000 sale. Okay? If I'm at dirty 30, that means I'm making $600 on that sale. Would I be motivated for that order? Yes. But the problem is, if that's at 7 o'clock, I missed phone time. So I'm probably going to miss setting up roughly 10 or more appointments. So on those 10 appointments, how many, when I'm more experienced after training, how many would I sell on? Not just 6, but how many probably? 7 or 8. Let's say 7. And what's the average order when you're not new anymore? What do you think?
500.
Yeah, 5-ish, yeah. Higher, lower. I mean, here you're what? Just under 1,000? Luke, what are you at? 800. Okay, let's just hit 500. It's not super big. That's 3,500. Sometimes I'm not good at math, but what I do know is 35 is more than 2,000. 3,500 is always more than 2,000, yet this person is adamant about making 2,000, but missed on 3,500. And ready, even worse than that, what did they also miss out on? From those 10 customers, they're missing what?
Recommendations.
100 plus recommendations. So it's a bad business people decision. It's a bad business decision, okay? So no appointments later than 4:30. The second best phone time, we call it AM Jam. And you should get 10 to 20% plus of your appointments here, sometimes more. And this is Monday through Friday. 7:30 to 9:30. And Saturday 9 to 10. A little later on Saturday, because mom's sleeping a little bit, I think. But I know some of your families, like mine, growing up, you called my house at 9:30 in the morning on Saturday, we're gone. We were already on our way to 3 soccer tournaments, breakfast, and oranges at Publix, or our version of Publix for the soccer game. Okay. And remember, what kind of mood are they in? Good mood. Why?
You dropped off the
Because
kids.
the kids are gone. Now it's just mom time. Here, let me have my coffee. It's like a commercial. Right? That was my mom. Okay, and then the last one is PM Jam. And that's from 6 to 9 any day. Any day of the week, 6 to 9. So I'm going to stop here. What are the big takeaways from this section in terms of phone? Go ahead, Mari.
It all has a strategy and a technique.
That's the word I wanted, strategy. Okay? I don't know about you, and I don't want to put thoughts into your head, but when I was new in training, when I came back from my first day of calling, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this job's crazy. I just make calls all day, all night. I go home, make calls. They text me. Well, they didn't text me. I make calls in the morning. That's how it feels because you just started 24 hours ago. That's not the job, right? This is the job. And if you're making calls outside of this, you're wasting your time, and Luke and I will probably laugh at you. I'm just kidding. Ready? So that's not the job. This is the job. If you call us and say, Marty, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just making phone calls. I can't get a hold of anyone. When are you making phone calls? Like noon to 3. That's not here. And ready? The only time you make calls outside of this is if who told you to call them. A customer. They said, oh, Mahela, honey, my husband, we have to do this, but when we get back 2 o'clock, call me at 2. Then put in your notes and then you call them. But don't do a phone time other than this time, okay? In fact, if you get really good, you book all your appointments here and you don't really have to do much of this. Okay. Any other light bulbs? What else are you taking from this? What else is giving you confidence or clarity? Sam?
That was one of my biggest, that's always been my biggest concern, and mainly my only concern is like what time.
Now you know.
That's
Good.
called
Okay.
in.
Good. What else? Anyone else more confidence where you're learning from this? How about just when to make calls, okay? That's strategy. Okay. Last few things here. I'm going to put miscellaneous. These are just some miscellaneous tips. And I'm going to put 5 before, 5 after. 5 after. 5 before, 5 after. What does that mean? Well, not when you're working a normal week, but if you're in a contest, like this is a Fast Start contest, or in 2 weeks we have a big push week contest for the whole state of Florida. If you're in a contest and you always want to make sure your schedule is booked, I always like to make 5 calls and 5 after. So if I pull up to Miss Mahela's house for an appointment, if I'm a little bit early, I'll open up my phone approach, pull my cell phone out, and I'll make 5 phone calls from the car to book any appointments I have openings for. And then I do the appointment, and then after, if I get to the next one early, I'll do the same thing. So that way, kind of in between appointments, I'm able to keep my schedule booked. Okay. Also, so abbreviating, 3-day window. I know you know not to go past the 3-day window, but my tip is stay urgent in making sure my 3 days are booked. Oh, honey, can you just call next week? How many of you got a customer like that where they were really friendly, wanted to help you, but it was just kind of casual and, oh, honey, call me next week. We're just kind of busy. Ready? It's not urgent. Mrs. Jones, I really need to do 6 appointments before Monday, and I only have 2 left to go. And I always like to use that phrase. Mrs. Jones, I need blank appointments, and I only have blank to go. What does that do? It creates an urgency window. Mari, I have to do 10 appointments to hit my goal by Monday. I only need 2 more. So if you could squeeze me in, I could do 4 o'clock on Sunday, and then my other opening is Monday at 10. Which one works better for you? So ready? I'll say the phrase one more time if you want to write it down. Mrs. Jones, I need to do blank appointments, and I only have 2 more to go, or blank more to go. And I want you to write down the word squeeze. How does that sound when I say, Miss Mari, I have 15 appointments to hit my goal, and I only need 6 more. If you could squeeze me in for 6 o'clock Or would later Saturday at 8 o'clock be better for you? How does squeeze sound? Yeah, how do you squeeze mean? Urgent and also urgent, small, meaning quick. Because when a Mac customer is dealing with, Johnny eating crayons and, one kid's having a meltdown, like that. And you say, can I come over for an appointment? They're thinking, gosh, how long is this appointment? Sister, could you just squeeze me in for a quick appointment? I'm going to teach you some urgency phrases. Ready? My favorite one. 10 push-ups. Okay? 10 push-ups. Let's say I'm your personal trainer, and I say, Blake, I'm going to put you on a, get big for the beach diet. And I want to get you all swollen, worked out. And we're going to do 100 push-ups every day for a month. Okay? We're going to do 100 push-ups per day for a month. And every time you do 100 push-ups, you track it, you call me, and then after 2 weeks, we'll log it. So let's say Blake goes, okay, let's go, I'm ready to roll. And he does 10 push-ups. And he gets on the scale. He goes, damn it. And he calls me and says, Jeff, it doesn't work. Yeah, why are you smiling?
Because that doesn't work that fast.
Right. Why? What happens? What does 10 push-ups do?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay? So here's my rule for 10 push-ups. What's the magic number of appointments I wanted you to shoot for by Monday? I was pretty adamant.
10.
10. And if you couldn't hit 10, come talk to me so we can figure out a schedule. Why? Because until you do 10 appointments, we don't even know how to fix you. So what that means is, as much as Blake has no right, as long as that person has no right to be mad at the trainer for 10 push-ups not working, no rep has the right to know if this job is or is not for them on 2, 5, 7 appointments. Right? So every week, last week I had a rep. They did 2 appointments. I don't know if I can do this. Do what? You haven't done it yet. I know, but I mean, this job is so hard. That's like a push-up. Okay? Colleen Rippey was like that. Colleen Rippey went 1 for 4. She came into advanced training on Monday like this. All moping. So what's up, Colleen? And her sales were huge. Like one damn knife. Like one knife. Right? I don't know if I can do this. I said 10 push-ups. She goes, I know, Jeff. I said, I just kept saying 10 push-ups. She goes, all right, what do I do? I said, 10 push-ups means if this job is not for you, I'm totally cool with that. But you can't decide that until you've done 10. And then 10 my way. She goes, fine, I'll do 10 your way. She was mad at me. I'll do 10 your way. Okay, do 10 my way. The next 6 appointments, she went 5 sales for $4,000 and 3 homemakers. She is now at $1 million in Cutco sales and does this as a career. And after 4 measly appointments, she almost decided this isn't for me. I said, okay, 4. How many of you have either just started working out or you took a break and you came back to working out, right? It takes a while to get there, doesn't it? Yeah. Ready? 10 appointments. In fact, I'll do math. I always like to do math. What's 60%? It means 6 out of what? 10. So until you get to 10, we don't even know what your ratio is. If you go 1 for 4, I'm only at a 25% closing ratio. We don't know because what if you went 5 for 6 for the next few? That's 6 out of 10. Hello? You like that one? Hello? Okay. I don't know where that came from. It's the first time I've ever done it. So what's my point? 10 push-ups, have the proper perspective. Okay. So here's what I want to say. If your first 3 appointments are homemaker signature complete, and the one lady almost got a kitchen and got 2 completes instead, don't get too high on the high. Don't think, hey man, look at me, I got this, no problem. Ready? You're gonna have some appointments where you'll have to learn to work harder. And let's say your first appointment is like me. Ready? I was the #1 rep in the whole country. You want to know what I sold my first appointment? Hell yeah. 1. I sold $76,000 worth of Cutco in 3 months. That's with the prices being half. So that's the equivalent of $120,000+ of Cutco in 3 months. And this was my first sale. And the lady had no Cutco. It's not like she had everything. She had no Cutco and 5 kids. And this is the knife she got. And sad me, right? This is so bad. So she saw another Cutco demonstration the next summer and bought 2 homemakers.
Oh my gosh.
It was my fault. Okay. And I'm looking back, I know what I did. I definitely wasn't reading the book. It was my fault. Then my second appointment, you know what it was? 0. Third appointment, you know what it was? $500. Okay. Then ready? Homemaker. Yeah, 5 in a row. And it wasn't even big. I know it's not a huge set, but at least I got consistent. And I hit 2 promotions first weekend. Like by Monday, I was at $400 in income. and I sold $15,000. So we didn't have a trip back then, but I would have won the trip and I made $3,500. Okay? So my point is 10 push-ups. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Okay? Last thing. Communication is key. I just want to review calling in. I'm going to review this again when everyone else gets here. But when you call in, it's really important. Remember, at the end, you say, Mrs. Jones, did you want to go ahead and get this homemaker? And you get the super shoes for free. And you smile and nod. What do? Sit quiet, okay? If they say yes, should you celebrate? No. You say, okay, Mrs. Jones, congratulations. I'm going to show you some of the two other sets. But first, let me call in to check in with my office. You don't say, let me call in because I'm going to try and upgrade you. You don't call and say, let me call to get a better deal on the other side. You say, let me just call in. This is where I'm supposed to check in. You want to have this if you want? Because I'm new. This is where I'm supposed to check in because I'm new. If they say no, okay? Ready? I want you to remember this. I touch a lot about consumer psychology, but sometimes it goes out the window when you go to the customer's house. Don't act, think, and speak like a college student. If they say no, they're going to say no after something after if you sit quiet. So if I go, Ms. Jones, did you want to get it today, Miss Mari? And she goes, no, honey, stay quiet, stay quiet, stay quiet. No, honey. That's just to expect. They'll say something after the no, and that'll tell you what's going on. Whatever they say after no, if you shut up, they'll tell you what's going on. No, honey. Well, it's just too expensive. Oh, we can't afford it. Those two things mean two things. You already know that you guys are smart now about this. It means they either have buyer's what?
Remorse.
Buyer's remorse, or they're just trying to work a deal. Either way, you say, no problem. Oh, okay, Mr. No problem. Let me go ahead and call my office. This is what I'm supposed to do. Check in, okay? And we'll tell you what to do from there, okay? Remember when you call in, too. It's not, oh, hey, Luke, they said it's too expensive. I'll show you. When you call, have enthusiasm. Hey, Luke, it's Madi. I'm calling. I'm with Jeff and Heidi. Yeah, they love the presentation. They're considering it, but right now they're going to say no. It's a bit expensive for them. So what do you want me to do from here? And Luke will throw, okay, we'll grab a piece of paper. I want you to ask the customer this question. And then we're going to show you how to wheel and deal. And then we'll do it on the second appointment, and then the seventh appointment. And by the 10th appointment, guess what you know how to do by yourself? Your own wheel and deal. And instead of calling us to, Luke, what do I do? You'll call Luke and say, Luke, I did what you did yesterday. Yeah, same one. Okay, yeah, they love it. Awesome, thank you. And you're smiling ear to ear. Okay? So always, right, the biggest thing is what? You always call to check in both times. Now, what if they say, oh, it's not the price. No, honey, you know what? That's just, it's too many options. That's way too big for us. Oh, okay, Mr. Jones, no problem. Let me show you the next one. You go right to the gallery and just read the book. It's page 10. Just read from page 10 down. Now, we'll practice how to do that today. Okay? Last few things. So far, I'll stop here and I'll teach you how to sell the big sets. Big takeaways from the miscellaneous part. Perspective, the 10 push-ups, squeeze me in, the check-in. Go ahead, Mahal.
Definitely the perspective of it, like getting down on yourself in the beginning, like sticking to that, just get 10 appointments and see how you're closing.
The
your
worst
show.
person in last training was Sydney, coming out of today. And the number one highest seller, the most money, was Sydney by Monday. Lexi was okay. She's still $1,500. Lexi Hayes by Monday, and then she tripled it after Monday, after the tips. I mean, remember, how long is training? 10 days. Okay? Don't 10 push up your training. Other takeaways from this? Oliver.
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet. Mrs. Jones, do you want to go ahead and get that today? They say no, sit quiet. They say yes, congratulations, and you move on. Yes, sir.
It's reassuring having like a backup to be able to call.
Yeah, and ready, let me give you a statistic. And I want to be careful not just to make numbers up, but I'm pretty confident I can say this, and it's really accurate. Luke, you can back me up here. 70 to 80%. 70 to 80% of the yeses you get started with a no when you call us. I would say the majority of your sales are not yeses when you ask the first time, but when you call the right way and you negotiate. Because ready, if you remember this, when you're trying to work a deal and negotiate, who are you trying to help? Them. And if you work like that and act like that and speak like that, they know, they can see and feel that, and you'll get a better sale. So good point. Okay. Last point. I want to teach you how to sell the signatures and completes more. Okay. If you remember, when they say yes to the homemaker, one time review, you say, oh, congratulations, you're going to love your set of Cutco. I'm going to show you the two other sets, but first let me call in
Check in.
check in with my office. And I'll practice in about 15 minutes what you say when you call in. But a big way and the easiest way to sell the signature, Luke's gonna give you a deal when you sell the homemaker, and he's gonna discount these, or he's gonna offer the customer more free stuff than you normally can get. I'll say it again. When they say yes to the homemaker, when you call in, he's gonna either give you a discount, depending on how the customers answer the questions you ask. Either a discount, or he'll hook up more free stuff than you're really supposed to give to hook up your friends and family, okay? And we'll talk about how to do that later, okay? But you should know, in general, have confidence in the difference between the sets. So let's practice this. You guys know this. Ready? The Homemaker Plus 8. Who's this set for? People who absolutely have to cook. What does that mean? Have kids, okay? Signatures, if I like to cook. Like to cook means I have to cook, but once a month I throw a party. That's once a month. And then the signature is not the ultimate. I'm sorry, the complete. It's not the ultimate. Why? That's scary. It's the complete set. And this is if you absolutely,
Love to cook.
or maybe you don't love to cook, but when you buy, you only buy what?
The
You only
best.
buy the best. So let me show you the difference. You guys know the Homemaker. Let's do the quick. Ready? You guys have this. Ready? Paring knife up in the
Air.
The trimmers for what? Small stuff. Spatula for sandwiches. This is the meat knife. This is what piece? Serving piece. What's this for? Hard stuff. Okay. This is the veggie chopper. This is for bread. This is for holidays and barbecues. How often do you use a table knife?
Every day.
Is there any difference in terms of what the table knife does versus the steak knife?
No.
No. What's the only difference?
The shape.
The length. This looks like a steakhouse and restaurant. This is what you use every day. This one's more expensive. Which of the three sets can you get the steak knife with? Only these two. Okay. If they say, I love that, Mari, but I want the steak knives. Oh, Mrs. Jones, you know what? The only ones that have steak knives are these two. Let me call the office. And we'll work out a deal. And it's funny. They always get that one if that's the case. Okay. See how well you know that? Pretty cool. Now watch. It only has, and here's the difference. This one has 8 table knives at the bottom. And it just goes up by 2. 8, 10, 12. Okay? Here, there are only 3 tools more than the Homemaker. So it's all the ones you know, plus 3. Plus 3. So let me give you the nicknames for these 3. Okay? And I would say you can put this in your training manual. Okay? Right here. In the white space.
What page is that?
Page 9. With the white space to the right. Okay. Right where you put this, after you put the smiley face somewhere. Okay. So far, so good? Just put Hearty Slicer. Actually, no, I'll just give you the nickname and you'll just point to it. Ready? Aggressive. Right, this is our most aggressive knife. Mrs. Jones, this is the Hearty Slicer. It's our most aggressive knife for really aggressive cutting. So I'm gonna give you an idea. This is the Hearty Slicer. It's got the double D edge, okay? But it's also thick, like the hard stuff butcher knife. So think big chuck roast if you're trying to make a big like churrasco, and you need to get through all the way down through the meat. Okay, anything really tough and aggressive. This is the aggressive cutting knife. And again, you'll write this right here on page 9, right in the middle. Right here on page 9. Okay. Then this is called the Santoku knife. This is the name of the knife. Santoku is a Japanese term for 3-in-1. Here's why. There's a back, middle, and front. Back, middle, and front. If you notice, it's curved a little bit. If you look closely, it's a tiny bit curved at the bottom. And it's not a double D edge, it's a straight edge. The back is for dicing and chopping, so it's a mini veggie chopper, a small one. The middle one, since it's curved, it rocks back and forth, so it's for herbs, like cilantro for guacamole, right? Or mincing garlic, okay? And then if the front is pointed, it's a butterfly knife. So if you know, like a big thick steak, it's too thick to cook. So you go like this and you butterfly it open. It's like a butterfly. Okay, so that's called a butterfly knife. But you can call this is the 3-in-1 knife. The Santoku knife, this is the 3-in-1. You got the chopper, you got the mincing, you get the butterfly knife. Just this is the 3-in-1. Okay. And then the third one is the cheese knife. Guess what it's for?
Cheese.
No. Gotcha. Cheese, yes. Cheese and compressed foods. Compressed means when you cut it, it's wet and sticky on the inside. Ready? An apple. You ever cut through an apple and it's wet and sticky and it sticks to the knife? That's a compressed food. Cheese is a compressed food. Anything that sticks to a knife. Got it? And notice there are the holes when you cut, and you'll see on the video, when you cut through the cheese, it just falls off. You can cut through the pear, it just falls off, it doesn't stick to the knife, okay? So remember, only 3 knives separate the homemaker and the signature. So if it's only 3 knives more to get the set that you can use if you throw a party once a month, even if you only have to cook, why is it better to sometimes just get the signature? Yeah, because the steak knives, it's only 3 more, and we're gonna give them a discount. Okay? So, and then the complete line, okay? I'll quickly go through these. We'll do another workshop. For now, you don't have to write these down, but I just want you to see what the other knives are for. So watch. Notice you got, this is the homemaker stuff, okay? Party slicer is for what kind of food? What kind of cut do you need? What's the nickname? This is for aggressive, okay? Then you have the Sun Toku. It's the what? 3-in-1, okay? Then you have the cheese knife for what kind of cheese and compressed foods. This is the vegetable knife. It looks like the veggie chopper, except it's not pointed. This is for larger vegetables. Think big heads of cabbage or lettuce versus celery and carrots. So anything that's big, you have to chop. Also, see it's so big and flat. You turn it upside down, you can scoop more of the vegetables into the stir fry. Then you have the cleaver. That's for just butchering, like meats, joints. Okay. This is the salmon knife. Take a wild guess. Salmon and fit, like a fillet knife. Okay. This is a bread knife, but it's the petite slicer. Why do you need 2? Ready?
Different sizes of bread.
Go ahead, say it again.
Different sizes of bread.
Okay, that's a really good guess. But ready? Here's what it's for. This is for when you're cooking and cutting the bread. This is for when you have it at the table. So it's less, not as long, so it's less likely to cut someone. It's safer. So this is for at the table versus in the back, okay? And then you have a bony knife. That's easy. That's for getting the meat off with the bone. So it's really, really, really delicate. Okay, this is the salmon knife. Look how flexible it is. And it's razor thin, okay? The bony knife. So you get close to the bone. It's a straight edge, very sharp. You get close to the bone and you don't waste any of the meat. Okay. Here's the vegetable knife. So same chopping motion, straight up and down, but watch, you can scoop more. Okay. Okay, this is the cleaver. This is for, butcher. I'm not thinking that, okay? Or circus act. I'm serious. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, that's right. No, thank you. And then the last one is the 4-inch paring knife, which is the air knife on steroids. So it's just for up in the air, but bigger fruit, like avocado and mango versus strawberry and kiwi. Cool. So that alone is how you're going to sell more if you're just more comfortable showing. Okay. Any questions on the homemaker signature complete? I'm going to do one last thing. We'll take a quick break. Okay. Let's do the prices. If you turn to page 9. And then notice there's a blank for the signature and the complete. Okay. So what I want to do is give you those prices real quick. Okay. So these are the prices for the complete and the signature. You can just fill that in on page 9. There's a little grid available. Yeah, of course. It's a latte. But with 40 grams of protein. Okay, last thing is I want to walk through I love some perspective on the price. Anyone want to guess the number one difference between someone who gets off to a fast start and someone who doesn't, besides the number of appointments? Like if someone's booked up, let's say, Mahela, what's your total number goal for the week? 11?
11.
Let's say you have 11 and then 16? And then
Like what we want?
what's your total goal? Yeah.
Oh, 16.
With graduation too?
Yeah, I mean, I could fit it in, but I don't think I'm gonna make it.
All right. I love it. So let's say all of you have the same amount of appointments. Let's say you all have 12. What's the difference between one of the three ladies who's going to go high 10%, middle, and low and sell these sets or more versus someone who sells smaller sets and pieces?
Getting, for instead of selling homemakers, selling signatures. That's what I would say.
Okay, and how does that happen? That's a good one. Go ahead.
I'm telling them the price right off the bat.
Well, you wouldn't do that anyways if you
Yeah,
follow the
yeah.
manual. No. Okay, yeah, if you did that, that would screw you up for sure.
Arranging deals with them and discounts and checking.
Okay, ready? Top three. Number one, how they call in and if they call the right way. Okay, with enthusiasm and at the right time. It's all in the book. Okay. Second thing, ready? Enthusiasm and belief. Third, anyone want to guess? They don't act, think, and speak like a college student. And that ties into what? Enthusiasm and belief. So when you say, Mrs. Jones, the signature, it's only $21.75 if you want to get the one with the steak knives, or $19.14. Think about that for a second.
You said only.
Only, yeah, I always say only. Does that make sense? Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. And I want to talk about this for a second. Look at the homemaker. We talked about it's $70 a week. Give me a time that you yourself spent $70 in a weekend or day, and what you spent it on. Oh, come on, here. Funky Buddha, yeah. Just eating and a couple rounds of beers for you guys. Yeah.
Dinner for me last night was $80.
Dinner for you last night was $80.
I bought a purse.
What's that?
I bought a purse.
Yeah, a gift for $70. That's okay. What else? Ready? This is one video game. How much is a I don't play video games, but what's Madden cost?
$59.99.
Okay, so practically seven. I mean, come on. So homemaker is nothing. If you remember this when you meet with customers, even if they give you that, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. Well, two things. They're either buyer's remorse or negotiation, or you just weren't enthusiastic enough on the part where you're supposed to say, Mrs. Jones, this stuff is really, really what? Expensive, and it's the what of
The
the
Ferrari.
Ferrari of knives. That's it. Okay, awesome. So last few takeaways from going through the tools and the prices that we just covered.
I think it has a lot to do with how you present it.
Yeah.
Everything has to do with how you sell it.
Yeah, enthusiasm, belief, not the script. Although you can't miss the script up. Nice work, Anna.
I just have a question.
Okay.
At the end of it, instead of saying expensive, should we say like it has a really high value after we've named the price? Or should we still say expensive?
And what part are you talking about?
Because I know you said yesterday we have to build up the price and
Yeah,
say
on
it's
page 4.
expensive, it's expensive. But then after we tell them the price, should we say it has a really high value or should we say it's expensive
Just
still?
read the book. Whatever the
Okay.
book's, yeah. Good question. Whatever the book says, yeah. You know-
Get the right way, though. That's a good point.
But the answer in general is it is a better. Yes, it's a great value.
Okay.
And when you get really advanced, there's actually something you say after they say it's too expensive that has to do with value. But you're always very advanced. That's really cool to see. I don't even know how you know all this stuff. Good for you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do this. It is now 10 after. Let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then here's the agenda for training today. I'm going to cover the contracts and review your pay. That's the fun part. I'm going to show you the pay program, get you pumped up on how you can make $5 grand in 10 days, long-term bonuses. I'm going to cover how you can how you call in. So we'll do that. Then Luke will take over, and he's going to help you get on the phone to contact more customers and book some more appointments. Then Luke gets the most fun part of training, actually. He's going to teach you to get recommendations. Then he's going to tell you the Fast Start contest full blown. So you know where you're going, contest, what you have to sell. And then he's going to show you how you can win the trip and how you can recommend friends to the job. Also, there's going to be a little extra contest he likes to throw in. You'll see later. Then I'll come back and I'm going to review the whole presentation. And after I review the whole presentation, I'll review it again, but with the virtual. Okay. And then we'll wrap up today with you get your kit, get pennies. We'll cut the pennies. Go make your first sale. Got it? Okay, let's take 10. And if you want to start making calls, you can.
Jeff, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Give me 1 second. Come on. Let me just close this out.